Germania, the city Nazi Germany planned to build after winning the war, bigger, more extreme, and more intimidating than any city on Earth. A dome 17 times larger than the Capitol building in Washington. A boulevard 5 kilometers long, wide enough to fit the Champs-Élysées inside it 3 times. Buildings designed so tall that clouds would form inside them. This wasn't a concept city. This wasn't a dream. Hitler had architects, he had blueprints, he had models, and he was already tearing down parts of Berlin to make room for it. Germania was supposed to replace Berlin as the capital of the world. Not just Germany, the world. Because in Hitler's mind, Germany was going to win the war, conquer Europe, and need a city that proved it. A city that made every other capital look small. A city built specifically to make you feel powerless when you walk through it. And it almost started. So what was Germania actually supposed to be? Let's start with why Hitler wanted it in the first place. Berlin was already a major city. It had history, it had architecture. It was the capital of Germany. But to Hitler, it wasn't enough. It was old. It was unplanned. It didn't represent what he thought the new Germany should look like. He wanted something clean, something massive, something that screamed power the second you saw it. He wanted a city that felt like a monument. This wasn't just about ego. Well, it was mostly about ego. But it was also strategic. Hitler believed that architecture could control how people felt. If you build a city where everything is enormous, where every building towers over you, where every street is wider than it needs to be, you make people feel small. You make them feel like the state is bigger than they are. That was the whole point. So in the 1930s, Hitler brought in an architect named Albert Speer. Speer was young, ambitious, and he understood exactly what Hitler wanted. Together, they started designing Germania. They weren't just sketching ideas on napkins. They built scale models. They created detailed blueprints. They calculated costs, materials, labor. By 1940, construction had actually started on some parts of it. This was real. Let's talk about the layout. The centerpiece of Germania was a massive boulevard called the Avenue of Splendors. This thing was supposed to run 5 kilometers straight through the city. For comparison, the Champs-Élysées in Paris is less than 2 kilometers. The Avenue of Splendors was more than twice that. And it wasn't just long, it was wide. 120 meters across. You could fit entire city blocks inside that width. And it wasn't designed for people to enjoy. It was designed for parades, military parades, victory parades. The whole avenue was built so that armies could march down it while crowds watched from the sides. The buildings lining the street were supposed to be massive government ministries, military headquarters, party offices. Everything was stone. Everything was symmetrical. Everything was built to make you look up. At one end of the avenue, there was supposed to be a massive triumphal arch. Bigger than the Arc de Triomphe in Paris. Way bigger. The Arc de Triomphe is about 50 meters tall. Hitler's arch was planned to be 117 meters. It would have been the largest arch ever built. And it wasn't just for show. The arch was supposed to have the names of every German soldier who died in World War I carved into it. Millions of names. Hitler wanted it to be a monument to sacrifice, but also a reminder. a reminder that Germany lost that war and that Germania existed because they won this one. But the arch wasn't even the craziest part. At the other end of the avenue was the Volkshalle, the People's Hall. And this is where the plan went from ambitious to completely insane. The Volkshalle was supposed to be a domed building so large that it would hold over 180,000 people. Let that sink in. Most football stadiums hold 60 to 80,000. This building was designed to fit more than double that, inside one room, under one dome. The dome itself was supposed to be 250 meters in diameter. For comparison, the dome of St. Peter's Basilica in Rome is about 42 meters across. The Pantheon in Rome, one of the largest domes ever built in the ancient world, is 43 meters. Hitler's dome was going to be 6 times wider. The building would have been over 300 meters tall, taller than the Eiffel Tower. The building would have been over 300 meters tall, taller than the Eiffel Tower. And that scale created a problem no ideology could solve. Berlin was built on soft, swampy ground. To test whether the soil could handle the weight, engineers poured a massive concrete cylinder into the earth, as heavy as the Volkshalle would have been. It sank far more than expected. The ground simply couldn't support it. At the same time, the war began draining Germany of everything Germania needed: steel, concrete, workers. The city was meant to rise after victory, but victory never came. By 1943, construction stopped. Resources were redirected to weapons and defenses. Germania faded from a future plan into an abandoned fantasy. When the war ended, Berlin lay in ruins. The boulevards were never built. The dome never rose. Only sketches, models, and one half-buried concrete test remain. Germania was meant to be eternal. Instead, it became a monument to how far delusion can go before reality pushes back. Thank you for watching my first video ever. If you liked it, write in the comments what I should make the next time. And maybe subscribe and like. Thank you.